Welcome to the Academic Success Crash Course series presented by the Office of Academic Skills at Washington College. Today's video is Putting Off Procrastination, and we'll go into detail about the different steps you can take to avoid procrastination. It's important to understand why you keep pushing off your work. Without understanding why you do it, you won't be able to successfully implement the tools we'll discuss. There are many reasons why you might put off your responsibilities. These may include, but are not limited to, self-downing, low frustration tolerance, hostility, poor time management, lack of motivation, or feeling overwhelmed. Once you know what gets in your way, you can move on to step 2, using your time well. There are many ways to do this, so we'll briefly go over a few key methods. The first tip is to do your work sooner rather than later. There won't be a perfect time when you want to work on your assignment, so just get it done when you can. Another great tip is to eat that frog. If you eat a frog first thing in the morning, at least it's the most disgusting thing you'll do all day. If you get the assignment you're most dreading out of the way, then your other work won't seem so bad. Also try trading time instead of stealing it. For example, if you hang out with friends and then stay up all night writing a paper, you're stealing that time from when you should be sleeping. However, if you had traded the time you needed to write the paper with hanging out with friends, then you would still have the same amount of time to sleep. Similar to stealing time, you should also be aware of time thieves. Things like getting dinner with friends, watching Netflix, random errands, and more are considered time thieves. You don't notice how much time you spend on them because it goes by quickly. If you start keeping track of how you're spending most of your day, you might realize you're spending more time on time thieves than on important tasks. One way to avoid time thieves or stealing time is to just say no. Think about what you could get done in that time your friends want to hang out, work wants you to come in, or any other situation that will take up your time. This doesn't mean that you should always say no, but it does mean that you should have a balance. Step 3 is to get into a routine. Block out time in your calendar to study, and keep that time as consistent as possible from week to week. You also want to keep the location you go to during that time consistent. The reason for this is that the more you do the same thing over and over again, the more likely it is to become a habit. So, if you study on Mondays in the library after your Spanish class, you will automatically start walking to the library after class on Mondays. Once you're in the habit of routine study times, you'll be on a schedule for getting your homework done. Step 4 is to write it down. If you write things down, it holds you more accountable. One way to do this is to make to-do lists. When making your list, break each task down. For example, instead of saying, "Study for bio exam," list all the things you will do to study. Maybe this includes making note cards, skimming the text, rewriting notes, and so on. This makes the tasks less overwhelming, gives you direction, and allows you to feel more accomplished when you mark the smaller tasks as complete. If you write a long list of things that need to get done, and you only have 2 hours to work on them, you need to be realistic with yourself. You probably will not be able to finish everything on your list in that time, and you shouldn't expect that of yourself. So instead, decide what tasks are the most urgent and important and prioritize those tasks. The other tasks can be saved for a different time or day. Step 5 is to get motivated. How you do this varies from person to person because different things motivate different people. One of the ways you can do this is to make it meaningful. Ask yourself, why did you take the class? How can you apply this information to your major, life, or career? When you answer these questions, the class material may become more meaningful and make you feel more motivated for the class. You can also motivate yourself through a reward system. To do this, you must first set a goal, such as getting 85% or higher on your essay. Then, you must set a reward for if you meet that goal. This reward needs to be something you enjoy, so that you feel motivated to reach the goal. If you have a hard time holding yourself accountable to this, then become publicly accountable. Tell a friend, professor, coworker, your parents, or anyone else what your goal is and have them hold you accountable. Remember, there are many ways to get motivated, and these are just a few. To summarize, there are 5 important steps to avoiding procrastination. These include: identify the problem, use your time well, get into a routine, write it down, and get motivated. Remember, if you can choose to procrastinate, you can choose to just get things done ahead of time. This webinar briefly discussed the important steps of avoiding procrastination. If you would like to go into more detail or have someone help you with these steps, please visit the Office of Academic Skills webpage and make an appointment with an academic skills tutor.